treasure. You are my treasure. Yeah, you are my treasure.
My name is Maria Juliana Karitapati. My student number is 18101044. Thanks for the time. And now I will build presentation about the grammar rules and principle. 1. A. XP specifier head. B. XP head complements. C. XP modifier head. And in the slide, you will see the rules of the form. 2a. Head specifier rules. XP part of speech 1. Specifier X part of speech 1. B. Head complements rule. XP parts of speech 1. X part of speech 1 complements. C. Head modifier rules. XP part of speech 1 modifier XP part of speech 1. The part of speech filter is thus a head filter which pass up to a mother praise from its head daughter, as shown in 3. And now in 3, I will give you a diagram 3. And in diagram 3, this procalation from a head to its mother is ensured by the following head filter participle. Diagram 3, we have not yet spelled out clearly what ensure a lexical head to a combine, not just with one of complement, but with all of its comes element. 6. Consider the following example. In the slide, you will see the consider the following example. As seen from the contrast here and as noted in the lexical entry in 7, the verb part select to complement and must combine with all of its complement. 7. We can also see that a finite verb must combine with its subject. 8. In the slide, you will see example of the sentence. Such combinatorial requirements can be formally stated in the revised grammar rules as given in 9. 9. In the slide, you will see the three rule of the head specifier rule, head complement rule, and head modifier rule. 10. The valence principle. The mother's SPL and comes value is the identical with its head daughter minus the discharge values. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Susan Laupra. My student number is 18101070. So now I will tell you about my material that is complement of verbs. So English verbs have 6 grammatical forms. For example, the verb drive can take these forms: drives, drove, drive, driving, driven, to drive, in addition to the citation form. The present and past tense forms are usually classified together as find or eat, with all the rest being in some way. Using this division, we might lay out the forms as in 12. Next, I will tell you about complement of adjective. There are at least two types of adjective in English in terms of complement selections. Those selecting no complements at all, and those taking complements. As shown in the following example, an adjective like despondent optionally takes a complement. Complements possibly of different categories. For example, is VP or PP. One thing we can note again is that the complements also need to be in a specific V form and P form value, where P form indicates the form of a specific preposition as illustrated in example, just like verbs. Adjectives also place restriction on the V form or P form value of their complements. Such restrictions are also specified in the lexical information. And the last is complements of common nouns. Nouns do not easily select complements, though they often may have specific. For example, is like common nouns like ID, book, bear, etc. require only a specifier but not complement. Yet there are nouns which do require a specific type of complement, such as proximity, faith, king, desire, and bottom. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, my name is Sahril Mulyawan from B class. My student number is 181078. Today I want to discuss about feature specification for the subject. In general, most verbs select a regular noun phrase as subject. The pronoun is and there are often called expletives, indicating that they do not have or contribute any meaning. The use of this expletive is restricted to particular context or verb. Talk from have regular pronoun use as well. One way to specify such lexical specification for subject is to make use from value specification for nouns, all regular nouns, and noun form norm all as a default specification. Overall, we classify nouns as having their different noun phrase values normal, it, and there. Given the noun form whether we can have the following lexical entries for the verb above. The second material is clausal complement or subject. Verb selecting a causal complement, we have seen that the complement list include premeditately phrase element. However, they are verb selecting not a phrase but a word clause as complement, either finite or non-finite. For example, consider the complement of think or believe. I think that the phrase has a check and balance function. If the complement value only is busy with verb forms value the complement and can be either subject or complement phrase. This means that we can sum these to use into the following single lexical entry, expressing the category information or the central complement. Maybe that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatin Nugararindra and I want to presentation about the verb selecting clausal complement. And a class of verbs which often traditionally lumped together with the transitive verbs are or verbs which have clausal complements. As can seen from the limited data, there are wide range of possibilities for clausal complements. Some verb infinitive clause complement, with other takes on infinitive complements or various. Some complements are declarative, while others are interrogative. That a possible determiner by the verb as the would expect an obvious question to ask where the clausal complement sits with respect to the verb. There are of a number possibilities. Number of a question to ask is where the clausal complements it's rather like an object, which that leads traditional grammars to conclude that still self verbs transitive. For instance, many of tense verbs can appear with an object, sometimes with a similar meaning to the clausal complement. Next, moreover, some days a verb can undergo a passivation, and we have seen in English only the transitive verbs can passive. All was believed, example that's Tim et al. Chris one considered to be clever. That's make a let use a consideration that's sold betrayed objects and place spreader of with the verb moving at the leak verb position to precede it. Next, verb selecting clausal subject. In additional as a complement, we also find some case where is the subjects of a verb. Example, John bothers me. That's John snores. Bothers me. The contrast here means the verbs like a brother can have two relation of arcs, where the two like love only. There's a different realization high in the lexical properties of the given verb, and only some verbs allow the dual realization described. A clausal subject is not limited to a fine that hit, but there are another clausal types. Naturally, each particular period dictates quite kind subjects are possible and which are not. For example, a difference between the two nominate and surprise can be seen. This a partial lexical. Unlike nominate, the first argument superficially be normal. This mean that subject can be either non-phrase and complement. Thank you. The contrast here means the verbs like a brother can have two relation of arcs, where the two like love only. There's a different realization high in the lexical properties of the given verb, and only some verbs allow the dual relation described. A clausal subject is not limited to a fine that hit, but there are another clausal types. Naturally, each particular predicates quite kind subjects are possible, and which are not. For example, a difference between the two nominate and surprise can be seen this partial lexical. Unlike nominate, the first argument superficially be normal. This mean that subject can be either non-phrase and complement. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I will dismantle the result of the English syntax, among which three are parts of discussion. Of one is adjective selection, a clausal complement. Two is noun selection, a clausal complement, and three is preposition selection, selecting a clausal complement. Before that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nermi Samsena, and my student number is 18, 10, and 48. Okay, now I will read my summary. One is adjective a selected clausal complement. Like verb, certain adjective can also select as their complement. For example, confident and insistent select infinitive, whereas eager select and invite. The example is Tom is confident that the elephant respect him. Tom is insistent that the witness will be truthful. B is Tom seems eager to act a call. We can easily find more adjectives which select a complement. I'm ashamed that neglected you. B. I'm delighted that Mary finishes his thesis. C. We are content for the cleanser to return the drapes next week. 2 is noun selecting a clausal complement. Noun can also select a complement, for example, adjourners. John's adjourners to win the election. The example, every the agent will have the following technical information. B. We believe that the director were present. B. C. We convinced him that the operation is safe. And C. The belief that the director were present. This shows us that the derivational process which derives a noun from a verb preserves the com value of the verb. And 3 is preposition selection, a clausal complement. In general, preposition in English cannot select a complement. Example, Alan is talking about that his students are eager to learn English. B. Fred is counting on for Tom to make an announcement. However, complement, sometimes known as indirect question, may serve a professional complement. Maybe that's thank you. That's all my summary result from my presentation. More or less, please understanding. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.